bit of extra bounce and maybe just a bit of seam. And a good healthy edge to Ricky Ponting at first slip.
Yeah, good catch. Just zipped off the wicket a little bit here. Caught him a little bit of bounce and pace. A good catch. An awkward height for Ponting. McGrath, number 299.
Gone! He's dropped him. It's out. He's out. First ball, Glenn McGrath. There's 300. The perfect scenario. Brian Lara came to the crease. Glenn McGrath right on the spot. Pitched about middle and leg. Went away a good thick outside edge. And Glenn McGrath's got 300 test wickets. Well bowled. Absolute champion, Glenn McGrath. Beautifully bowled. He gets Brian Lara first ball for 300 test wickets.
Well, he wrote the script this morning, didn't he, Pidge? He could not have written it better. 300 wickets, Lara come out. Why don't I get him first ball? And he did. Pitched in line, just went away from him a little bit. Stewie McGill, a little bit of a juggle, but isn't Glenn McGrath happy he caught it? That's the main thing. First ball.
It's out! Got it! Glenn McGrath's got it! It's a leading edge, straight up in the air, and that's a hat-trick. Well, he wasn't on 300 test wickets for long, Glenn McGrath. A simple leading edge, Justin Langer the catcher, and that's 301.
Well, we'll just put 301. What an unbelievable scenes here at Perth. The crowd's going off. The Australian team's going off. Glenn McGrath can't believe it. It is all happening, as Bill Laurie would be saying.
Jimmy Adams, the captain, comes in. McGrath on a hat-trick. Not a great delivery, really. Pitched outside leg. Just seamed away and squared him up. Hit high on the bat, straight to Justin Langer. That's in the air. That'll be out as well. 5 for 22 now, the West Indies. I dare say that looked like a slower ball from Brett Lee. Ramner is so wet.
Steve Waugh going down the line, shaking hands with all the West Indies players, and Courtney just checking to see if it's still there. It is a little bit of it's disappeared, but Courtney's probably had as much fun as anybody with the Colin Miller hair dye.
This crowd of around about 15,000 people seeing the end of a wonderful series, particularly from the Australian point of view. They played attacking cricket. They scored over 3 runs per over right throughout the series. Early on, it was Gilchrist that sparked them up when they needed quick runs towards the end of an innings. He's had a good series with both bat and ball, and the balance of the Australian side is fantastic. McGill, 7 wickets in this match, did the damage in the first innings, and now we're getting ready for the presentations. Beautiful sunny day in Sydney, so we'll take a short break and come back with Richie Bernard.
Feel like you're just moving dust around?
Don't pick it up. Pick it up.
Introducing the high-performance cloth from Scotch-Brite. Its unique microfibers lift and capture dust and fingerprints.
Don't smear it up. Clear it up.
Use the high-performance cloth over and over.
Don't toss it out. Wash it out.
The new high-performance cloth from Scotch-Brite.
Don't pass it up. Pick it up.
Another 3M innovation.
Rock into Ford's best ever official factory clearance. 2000 built Falcon Fortes from $29,990 drive away. Automatic, air conditioning, dual airbags, CD. Also includes manufacturer's scheduled servicing to 60,000 kilometres. Plus the new Falcon X-Pack with sports alloy wheels and rear wing spoiler for only $695 extra. No repayments for 6 months on every new Ford, plus thousands of used cars must clear. Rock into the Ford official factory clearance while stocks last.
Catch some of the action with Saturday Night Trotting at Phoenix Park, Port Pirie. Back a winner with Saturday Night Trotting at Phoenix Park, Port Pirie.
40,000 bathrooms, 25,000 family rooms, 80,000 patios, 400,000 loos. Yes, 800,000 square metres of tiles must go in Beaumont's biggest ever tile sale. These imported floor tiles are only $14.95 a metre. Wall tiles from just $11.95. These Tuscan floor tiles, $18.95. Plus heritage wall tiles and pattern freezers, only 34 cents each. Every single tile must go. Not just a few to soak you in, but every single tile. Don't miss it. Beaumont Tiles' biggest ever tile sale. Beaumont Tiles.
Good morning, Angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Your mission is to find the hottest soundtrack this summer. Charlie's Angels is the hottest soundtrack from the summer's hottest movie.
You make me feel like dancing. Grooves and high. All the women with the midnight.
Charlie's Angels, the soundtrack. Mission accomplished.
Ponting goes over the top. Should be it. Go for 4. And that's a wonderful victory by a very good cricket team.
Nice way to start the finale of this Test series. The final day with the Australians coming out on top. And a superb performance from Steve Waugh and his men. All the way through this series, they've clambered all over the West Indians. West Indians never quite able to get back. Looked like it in Adelaide at one stage, and here they produced their best effort. But so far as I'm concerned, it's their fielding in the main that's let them down. If you can't bowl and you can't bat all that well in a series, then at least you must be able to field. And I think that that is one of the real problems they had.
They had a number of problems. I think they were outclassed by the Australians in all departments. But as you said, Richie, and I know Ian Chappell made a point of that when you're not quite up to the standard of the opposition, you have to take your chances. And this game was particular where they didn't take their chances. They catch of Adam Gilchrist when they dropped him on naught in the first innings. If they'd grabbed that opportunity, they probably would have set Australia around about 250 in this fourth innings, and that would have been a real tough chase. So just missed those opportunities. And Michael Slater again today on 25. You grab that.
Catch and bowl.
Sides 4 for 50.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're right in the game. So just missed those opportunities. And when you're not quite the same standard as the opposition, you've got to take those.
Well, down in the presentation area with lots of people around here, around about 12,000 crowd in on the final day, Tony Greig awaits us.
Thank you very much, Richie Benno. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the presentation. The Ansett Test Series is over, and, well, it's been a lot of fun. Certainly a lot of fun for the Australian players, and bad luck for the West Indians. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Trevor Jensen from Ansett, Australia.
Thank you, Tony. Chairman of the board, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the two great teams. Congratulations, fellas. I think the sportsmanship, the skill, and the terrific spirit you've shown out there has been great. And we've seen it throughout the whole of the Ansett series, and congratulations. Of course, congratulations. Particular congratulations to the Australian team. Great victory, fellas, and a sensational series. Well done. And of course, to the West Indians, we've had tremendous competitors, and I think what we've seen here in this test is that we can look forward to some great games in the years ahead. Also, well done, fellas. Ansett and cricket have had a long association. We've sponsored the Ansett Australia Test Series for the last 5 years. Ansett is the Australian Cricket Board's official carrier for the last 17 years. And as we say in the logos at the end of the pitch, we love cricket. The 5 years in which we've sponsored the Australian team, we've seen them to go to #1 in the world. And 15 was great, but when you come back from the subcontinent, it'll be better if it's 18. And good luck over there. But more immediately, returning to now, I'm very proud on behalf of Ansett Australia to announce the man of the match. And the man of the match is Michael Slater.
Just thank you to Ansett once again, fantastic sponsor. To the West Indies, thanks for a great series. You showed a lot of character and courage in this last Test match, and I think, you know, as the series went on, you really were putting up a great fight. It's a pleasure. Well, I shouldn't say pleasure. Sometimes Courtney Walsh, you've terrorised opening batsmen for years. It's been a pleasure playing against you, and good luck in the future, mate. And just a few thoughts on to be a part of this great side over here. It really is a privilege, and I think each and every day we're a part of it. We pinch ourselves, and we're going to try and keep this run going on. But thanks to all the teammates, and it was a great series, and thanks for everyone for turning up. Good on you.
Well done, Michael Slater. Right, now we come to the player of the series. It's an air travel package to any Ansett domestic or international destination to the value of 20,000 Australian dollars. And the player of the series will be announced by Mr. Jensen from Ansett.
Thanks once again, Tony. The player of the series captured 21 wickets for an average of 17.09. During the course of this series, he captured his 300th wicket in spectacular style by doing it with a hat-trick. Glenn McGrath.
Well, firstly to Ansett for another great year of sponsorship. To Steve and the rest of the guys there, to win 5-0 is a huge effort, and you know, 15 in a row. Hopefully we can go to India and continue the winning streak, but I feel it's a little bit unfair for me to be standing up here when it's been such a huge team effort to win the series. Also, as Slat says to Courtney, you're an amazing bowler, mate, the way you keep going match after match. It's been a pleasure to play against you, and all the best for the 500. And also to everybody who supported us this year, both at home and here at the grounds. Big thank you from me and the rest of the guys. Thank you.
Well done, Glenn McGrath. Well, the public of Australia for a long time have got behind Courtney Walsh. He started here in, well, it was 16 years ago now, I think. That was his debut in Perth, and he's come a long way, and I don't think it would be appropriate if we didn't invite him up to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, Courtney Walsh.
Thanks, thank you very much. Just to say to Steve and his team, congrats on a well-played series. They were the much better team, and congrats, very well done, and good luck for the rest of the games to come in India and all that. To Jimmy and our team, Skipper, we gave it everything we have, and I hope that we can move away from this and start to become a much better team. And for the younger guys in the touring party, for them to use this as a learning experience and to make themselves much better cricketers. To you, the public at large, I just want to thank you very much, to the media and to everybody, and to you, the supporters, who have given me all the support here in Australia. There was a lot of doubt in me coming here, but I gave it my best shot, and I just want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for all the support you have given me for the 5 Test match series, and thank you very, very much.
The holder of the world record number of Test wickets, Courtney Walsh. Thank you. My pleasure now to introduce the chairman of the Australian Cricket Board, Mr. Dennis Rogers.
Thank you, Tony. As already been stated, this is a conclusion of this particular series, and I want to thank Ansett Australia from the Australian Cricket Board for the wonderful support they've provided Test match cricket over the last 5 seasons. And to Trevor Jensen, we thank him for being able to attend today's presentation ceremony. It's been wonderful support from Ansett Australia. To the 2 teams, I want to say from the board how much it's been a pleasure to have the West Indies team in Australia, and I'd ask you once again to thank them for being here. Some of them are about to go home. We're grateful for them. And at the same time, I want to, on behalf of the Australian Cricket Board, to thank Stephen and his team for the wonderful cricket they've played throughout the season, for a number of seasons now. Would you please join me again and thank this great team of Australian cricketers. Now, I want to acknowledge some other things. We can't play cricket unless we have grounds around the country, and to the ground authorities and to the curators in particular, I thank them. To the umpires and officials, I thank them as well. To the media, generally, who give a lot of coverage to cricket, I'm very, very grateful on behalf of the Australian Cricket Board for the service that they render our great sport, and thank you for that. Now to the patrons, that is the patrons at the grounds, and in this particular match, I want to advise you that there was in excess of 126,000 people at this ground during this Test match, which is the 3rd highest aggregate in the history of this ground against the West Indies. So give yourselves a good clap. And to the patrons who came to the grounds all around Australia, we thank them as well. But also there are the TV audiences and the radio audiences and those people who follow the cricket through the print media. Thank you to all of you as well. I'd now like to invite both captains to the podium.
I'd like to use this opportunity, first of all, to pay tribute to Steve Waugh and his Australian team for a very well-played series. I think they've really made a new standard in world cricket, and it's something for all of us to aim for. Very well done, fellas. Well done. I'd like also to pay tribute to all the people who came out to watch this series. I think the support for both teams has been tremendous. And as a touring team, we've really appreciated the support that we've gotten while we're here. Special mention to those who've come from the Caribbean. It's been a long trip for you all, but the team really appreciates it. Thank you. And lastly, on a personal note, I'd just like to pay tribute for the 3rd time to Courtney Walsh for the great effort and everything that he's given to West Indies cricket for the last 16 years. The team has really appreciated it, Courtney. We hope you can keep going. The 500 is in front of you. But to you and to the rest of the team, I say thank you very much.
Firstly, I'd like to thank Ansett Australia for their continued sponsorship of Australian cricket. It's certainly much appreciated by the players. I'd also like to thank all the crowds who have turned up all around Australia. It's been fantastic support. I think it really does make a difference to the players to see the grounds full with plenty of spectators, and particularly here at Day 5 in Sydney, 12,000 people. It's a credit you've turned up, and it certainly spurred the Australian side on to play very good cricket. Thank you. To Jimmy Adams and the West Indian side, obviously a 5-0 scoreline is not what they're looking for, but I think the last 3 tests were very competitive. I'd like to thank them personally for their outstanding sportsmanship and sense of fair play out in the middle. We've really enjoyed this series. Thanks very much for that. I'm sure you're going to come back. There's too much pride, tradition, and a lot of talent in the younger players for West Indies not to come back. And we all want to see that happen, so good luck in the future. And of course, to my Australian side, fantastic effort. 5-0 is a great performance, winning 15 in a row. We're hoping we can continue that on to India, but more importantly, I think it's the way we're trying to play the game, very aggressive and positive. Everyone contributing, so thanks very much for making my job very easy. And also to our support staff, it's not just the players on the field, but the people behind the scenes that are doing a lot of work, coach, physio, manager, fitness, all those people involved. Thanks very much also. Just in conclusion, I hope we see this crowd support back next year. I'm sure you'll see an Australian side go out there to try and play aggressive cricket from ball one. And thanks again for coming for this test match.
Chairman just making the presentation of the cheque for $85,000 to Steve Waugh, and now we'll also make the presentation of the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy to Steve Waugh as well, and that will also be done by the Chairman of the Australian Cricket Board.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great deal of pride to present this trophy to Steve Waugh, richly deserved, the Frank Worrell Trophy.
Thank you.
They're all on their way up to join their skipper on the stage and to join him holding the Frank Worrell Trophy, the one first presented way back in 1961. And it is a great sight and a great feeling, I can assure you, to hold that trophy in your hands. It's the outstanding trophy played for in Test match cricket anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it certainly has been in modern times. It used to always be the Ashes Trophy was the one that you wanted to get, but probably particularly over the last 10 years, it's been the benchmark in world cricket. People will probably say now that the West Indies aren't the benchmark anymore and the Australians are the benchmark. But over probably the last, probably 10 or 20 years, that's been the trophy that you wanted to win. That's been the trophy that said that you're the best cricket team in the world. I don't think there's any doubt that Steve Waugh's team is the best cricket team in the world. Even Jimmy Adams says in his speech that Australia has set the new standard in world cricket. There's Courtney Walsh leaving the ground, a man who's set a great standard for fast bowlers over a number of years, 16 years of Test match cricket. And that's not easy when you're running in, banging that front foot down the crease day in, day out. And he's done it very, very well.
Yes, he's been a fine bowler, and he'll continue playing. And all of the Australians will as well. It's been an outstanding performance. It's been such an exciting Test series, even though it was one-sided, 5-0. You get a whitewash when you don't allow the opposition to score a point. Well, the Australians, except for moments in Adelaide and moments here in Sydney, have been all over the West Indians and have had clear superiority. It's been an outstanding performance from Steve Waugh. He's led them brilliantly, and they've played brilliantly.
They have played brilliantly, but I did like the way the West Indies played this game. I thought they were disappointing in Melbourne, to be honest, in the Boxing Day Test match. They didn't have that normal fight which you expect from the West Indies. Jimmy Adams said at the toss that they'd set a New Year's resolution to be tougher, to play better cricket, and they did it here in Sydney. They lost to an Australian side who are a very good Australian side, but at least they showed a lot more fight, and it was a good 5 days of Test match cricket here in Sydney.
It was. We'll take a break and be back in a few moments at the SCG.
McDonald's new Irresistible Beach Burger. A delicious hamburger with a juicy slice of pineapple, cheese and sizzling bacon.
Mary? Mary?
McDonald's $2.95 Beach Burger. It's the taste everyone's screaming for.
Right, I got a truck lost its load about 300 k's north of Dingo Whoop Whoop. Any takers? I reckon this one be just right for you, Johnny.
What am I looking for?
You can't miss it. Great big Farmers Union iced coffee truck.
It's a Farmers Union iced coffee, or it's nothing.
It's a new flavour.
Peter and Pringle put together. Yummy.
Really hits you.
Tastes like pizza. It does. It's beautiful.
Very cheesy, you know, very tomato cheese.
Just crunch it.
The boys will like them.
Amongst the pop, you know the rest.
You can't stop.
Bo, that $50 you borrowed, I was just wondering if I could have it back. No interest, of course.
Sure, Dave. Do you like to do interest free here?
Yes, sir. 6 months, which means you can buy now and not pay a cent for 6 months. Right, Bo?
If you insist, Dave.
Pay nothing for 6 months. Call 132381 for your nearest store.
Frank Worrell Trophy and being held and enjoyed there by the Australian team. Mark Taylor, you've done that.
I've been lucky enough, and so have you, Richie, to hang on to that trophy. It is a great moment. Steve Waugh down the front there. Michael Slater, man of the match, next to him. Beaming smiles. Why wouldn't they be? They came into this summer as red-hot favourites, no doubt about it. But to win 5-0 is outstanding. And always tough to win a dead rubber too. I certainly always found it tough as a captain to fire the sides up to win dead rubbers. But Steve Waugh was able to do that here in Sydney. Came into today needing 173 runs to win the game. Lost Mark Waugh early, about the second over of the day. At that stage, tottering around about 3 for 45. But Steve Waugh steadied the ship along with Michael Slater, who played very well, 96 in the first innings and 86 not out in the second. And they got home reasonably comfortably in the end.
Good performance, and the bowling figures, well, there's always a chance for the bowlers. The man who missed the catch was Nixon McLean. He finished up with 1 for 35, but if he'd taken Michael Slater, it might just have played around the edges with a few nerves. And we're going to be catching up with one another with Mercantile Mutual Cup matches coming up tomorrow and the Australian A match, so I look forward to that.
Yeah, mate, it's been a very good series. It's been great to be involved in the series. It's been great to watch this Australian side, who are playing very good cricket. Be interesting to see how they go in India. That'll be the big test for them. But they've had a great time here. They've continued their winning streak from 10 matches before this series to now 15. There's the winning streak. Started in Harare over a year ago now with a 10-wicket win. They were troubled in Hobart by Pakistan, but won that series reasonably comfortably. Clean swept India 3-0 in that series. And they've continued on in New Zealand last year, or the start of last year, and then the West Indies, a 5-0 clean sweep here in the series with some very comfortable wins. So it's been a great series to be involved in, but I must admit, I'm looking forward to the one day as well. They should be good as well, Richie.
That'll be excellent. Look forward to catching up with you.
Thank you.
Now then, the games coming up. First of all, the Mercantile Mutual Cup game. That's the Tasmanian Tigers against Queensland Bulls. 7th of January on Sunday. Tomorrow, and then at the Adelaide Oval, the Australian A game. That'll be very interesting from the selectors' point of view. They're looking at players on the fringe of the Australian side, and they've got an Ashes tour coming up. They've got the Tour of India, and they're looking for one-day players. We'll have a chance there to see what they've got. That's on the 9th of January, and it's a day-nighter in Adelaide. And the first of the Carlton series is in Melbourne. That's on the 11th of January, a day-nighter. And it's Australia against the West Indies. Zimbabwe, the third side in this series, and Zimbabwe have already done well against New Zealand in the recent 10, 15 days, and they are quite a formidable limited overs team. So those one-days coming up. The Test match finished here in Sydney with a victory for Steve Waugh's Australian side. A brilliant performance from them, and it astonishes me that in a series that has finished up 5-0, the Australians winning the trophy, that we've had so much wonderful cricket It's been enjoyable to have you with us. Thank you very much for being here.
The odd wicket. Close, very close. He's given him. On. Yes, he is. That's brilliantly caught. Sherwin Campbell goes. A wonderful catch by Gilchrist. That's close too. He's given him. He's on a hat trick. Got him on the full. That looked to be plumb.
He goes again. That's a chance. Up in the air. Colin Miller's under it. He's dropped it. He has dropped it. Big shout. It's got him. Colin Miller's got him. Oh, that is a great piece of bowling. He was disappointed after dropping Brian Lara off Stuart McGill. He goes up to apologise to him now and says, mate, he should have been yours.
82 overs have been bowled, and Steve Waugh has decided to take the new ball. Gone straight away. It's had an effect, and Sarwan's innings has come to an end. First ball with the second new ball.
Ponting goes over the top. Should be it. Go for 4. And that's a wonderful victory by a very good cricket team.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports. The Cricket, proudly brought to you by Toyota, West End Draft, Mitre 10's 10 out of 10 advice, The Army, The Edge, and Bank SA.
Some days are better than others. When things go wrong, there's...
Whether it's Australia, finish that one and move on to the next, or is it the West Indies? Can they get home and regroup and cause some trouble to the South Africans?
Well, I think at the tea break they would have been ready to go straight home, but I think they're very pleased they've stayed now, because that was a great chase, 299. And the young players, Hines 60 off 58, Sam, as you mentioned, 63 off 54, and Ridley Jacobs done a good job all summer, 59 off 61. But in the end, the target was too great. They played with pride tonight, the West Indies, particularly with the bat. This Australian side, once you score 338 off 50 overs, you're really going to be beaten on this big Melbourne cricket ground. With the crowd, they've saw a lot of runs scored today. There's Ricky Ponting and Brian Lara. It's good to see that both teams so happy after what's been a long, hard summer, particularly for the West Indies.
Just sorting out the disagreement in Sydney, maybe, from the first final. I'm sure they've had many a chat throughout the summer. Quite close mates, Ricky Ponting, Brian Lara, John Buchanan in the background with Roger Harper with his back to us. Contrasting coaching success rates, that's for sure. Wavell Hines, the smiling man with John Buchanan at the time, bounced back into this one-day side. They told him his form and he wasn't good enough to be in that one-day side until tonight, and then he bounces in with a 60 from 58 deliveries. So the Australians on fire. They're very difficult to beat. You can't get some pressure on them in any part of the field for very long.
As Jimmy Adams won the toss and elected to bowl, and they scored 339 in reply. The West Indies in the 50th over bowled out for 299. Hines and Ricardo Powell played well, put on 54 for the first wicket, but Warne did the damage. He picked up 4. In the end, the Australians just too good. They're a first-class act. The bowling was steady rather than great. I thought Warne was superb tonight. Once again, when needed, like in the World Cup, he did the damage.
He's so effective when the opposition has to take risks and go for boundaries. 4 for 48. 2 for 49 Fleming. He was a little bit below par. Glenn McGrath 2 for 48. Nothing spectacular in those bowling figures.
This crowd is staying. There's going to be a presentation. They're giving the Australians a magnificent ovation. We'll take a short break and come back here with Richie Bennett.
Twice the West Indies captain Jimmy Adams has put the Australians in. Twice they've won 134 runs and 39 runs. This is the way it looked. This is how it unfolded with all the cards. The Australians 6 for 338. It was a magnificent performance. They got away to, well, not an indifferent start, I suppose, but it was slow enough with Gilchrist and Waugh being behind the rate of runs to balls faced. And then Gilchrist out. Ponting and Mark Waugh started the whole thing. It was a dynamic partnership. Ponting 63 from the same number of balls faced. Then Simons out quickly. Bevan a good partnership. But the whole thing dominated right through by Mark Waugh. It was one of the finest innings I've seen in limited overs cricket. 173 from 148. He kept up the pace all the way through, and it was quite brilliant. Steve Waugh and Damien Martin, the two men unbeaten at the end, 6 for 338. The bowling figures, you wouldn't expect there to be too much there for the West Indies. Dixon McLean, I thought, stuck to it all the way through. He came in and bowled at the end, 1 for 58 in 10. Cameron Cuffey, who has improved in recent matches, 1 for 53 in 10. Nagamudu a wicket, and Williams none for 72 of 8 was expensive out there. Samuels 3 for 71, bowling his off spin, generally pushing it through pretty quickly, and Jimmy Adams 2 overs, no maiden, none for 26. Well, 339 to win, and I don't think anyone actually expected them to do it, but they put up a very good performance, Jimmy Adams' team, 299 all out in the 50th over. It provided very worthwhile cricket for the spectators here to watch and television viewers. Wavell Hines up the top. I thought he was the forgotten man of the West Indies side. I've been saying all the year what a good player he is, and suddenly he disappeared from the selection table. He made 60 out there from 58 balls. Ricardo Powell, 21 from 24. They had a good opening stand, got away to a decent start, and it gave a bit of impetus to the innings, but Brian Lara out to a wonderful catch by Damien Martin of Shane Warne. It was a very good delivery. It drifted away from the left-hander, and Martin took a brilliant catch. Then 63 for Samuels, 59 for Jacobs, and 299 all out. Bowling figures for the Australians, everyone did well. Warne in particular, 4 for 48. McGrath, 2 for 48. Fleming, 2 wickets, and 1 for Simons, and 1 for Bevan. Out in the centre of the ground now, in the presentation area, here's Tony Greig.
Thank you very much, Richie Benno. Ladies and gentlemen, since the season of 1979-80, that's 22 years ago, Australia have played tests and one-day internationals in this country. This is the first time that any team has achieved a clean sweep. 15 wins during the season. Congratulations, a fantastic performance. Right, time now for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, to address you and to announce the man of the match, the Managing Director of Carlton United Breweries, Mr. James King. Mr. King.
Thanks, Tony. On behalf of Carlton and United Breweries, can I say how pleased we have been to be associated with the Australian Cricket Board and the one-day series. We've had over 25 years of sponsorship of cricket in Australia, and this year's series was the 5th Carlton series. Congratulations to the 3 teams who have competed this year, to Heath Street and the gallant Zimbabweans, who showed us some exhilarating cricket, particularly in the last match in Perth. To Jimmy Adams and the West Indies. On an excellent record in this company, you've won 6 times, but not this year. You tried hard, but were up against some very stiff competition. And finally, to the unbeaten Australians. It's the first time ever any team has gone through the Australian summer undefeated in both test and one-day matches. Congratulations to Steve Waugh and the whole team on what's been a really remarkable season. You're undoubtedly the world champions, and we wish you well in the forthcoming tour of India. And finally, to the Australian public, this series would not be possible without your fantastic support across the nation. A big thank you from Carlton United, and we look forward to more exciting cricket next year. It's now my pleasure to announce the winner of the man of the match for this year's evening's game, Mark Waugh.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Zimbabwe and West Indies teams for the competition this summer. To the crowds, great attendance everywhere we've played. To Carlton United, the sponsors, thank you. And to my teammates, well done on a great achievement this summer. Thank you.
Well played, Mark Wall. The player of the series will ride away tonight on this magnificent Honda Fireblade motorcycle. It's worth $20,000. And to make that presentation, Mr. King, will you tell us who the player of the series is, please?
In a very tight contest over the preliminary games, the winner of the Carlton Draft player of this series is Brian Lara.
First, I want to say I totally agree with the crowd. One of the Australians definitely deserved this award. He played tremendous cricket. Steve Waugh, well done. To my teammates, tough luck for a tough series, but I think we learned a lesson here in Australia. I also want to say that I hope the Australian Cricket Board do look at their point system in deciding who wins the player of the series, because honestly, I don't think I deserve this. But thank you to the people of Australia. Sorry we didn't play the cricket that you expected us to play. Thank you.
Brian Lara. My pleasure now to introduce the chairman of the Australian Cricket Board, Mr. Dennis Rogers. Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, young people, boys and girls, as already been stated, this is the end of this season for the international cricket, and particularly this Carlton series. Congratulations to the Australian team, commiserations to the West Indian team, and I thank the Zimbabwean team, all three teams, for participating in the competition. It's an opportunity for me to express our gratitude, that is the ACB's gratitude, to the state associations, the ground authorities, curators and their staff, match referees and umpires, and to all officials who play a role in cricket throughout Australia. The ACB says many thanks. To the media, we thank you as well, to TV, radio and the print media and other technologies these days. We thank you for the coverage you give to the great game. We're very appreciative of it. And most importantly, the ACB thanks the public for their tremendous support. The radio audiences, the TV audiences, especially the boys up in Bly, we're very appreciative of what they do. And as I said, the interactive technology participants, we're very appreciative of their support. And more importantly, and most importantly, thank you all for coming out to the grounds right throughout Australia this summer, because I definitely know the players appreciate the large crowds. Thank you very much, and the ACB appreciates that. I'd like to invite Jimmy Adams to the podium, please.
I'd like to say congratulations to the Australian team. Very well played. Well tried to West Indies team. Thank you very much for turning up.
Thank you, Jimmy Adams. Well, now the man you've been waiting for, the captain of Australia, Steve Waugh.
Yeah, sure. A big thank you to Carlton United Breweries for their continued sponsorship. It's certainly much appreciated by all the players. Also to the crowds who have supported us throughout Australia. It certainly makes a big difference to have a lot of people turn up and support us. Thanks very much for that. To the West Indies, thank you for a very competitive final series. Hopefully the future, there'll be a few more wins for West Indies cricket. And to my side, congratulations, a fantastic year. I'm certainly very proud to be captain of this side, and I feel very privileged to lead a great bunch of players. Well done. We just call the guys up on stage to collect their medals. Michael Bevan. Damien Fleming. Mark Waugh. Nathan Bracken. Ricky Ponting. Ian Harvey. Darren Lehman. Andrew Simons. Damien Martin. Glenn McGrath. Shane Warne. Vice Captain Adam Gilchrist. And just a quick thank you to our support staff, Errol Alcott, the physiotherapist, Jock Campbell, the fitness advisor, John Buchanan, the coach, Steve Bernard, the manager, and Mike Wells, the scorer, have done a fantastic job behind the scenes. Well done, guys.
Give me the check, boys. Here's the check. Here's the check. Hold that one. Oh, the cash, mate. We got the cash.
Great moment for the Australian side. Steve Waugh and his men have done a terrific job. They've gone through undefeated in the test matches and now in all the one-day internationals. They have their mascot there, but they've had their skills on show all the way through, and it's been quite brilliant to watch. Mark Waugh in the middle there, his 17th one-day international century. Just level with Desmond Haynes, the great West Indian, on that figure. And the players can be well pleased with a wonderful season. Well, some of the competitions we've been running this year, we've had Foster's Light Ice Extreme Catches and also the one to do with the speed of the bowlers. That's turned out to be a very, very popular competition. I'm not surprised. It's one of those competitions where you have to judge the speed of the fastest ball on the day, and this is the end of the season prize, the major prize winner, $15,000. That was 150 Ks. Brett Lee bowled the ball, fastest ball of the season. That's Derek Boland of Duncraig in Western Australia. $15,000 for Derek Boland, the Toyota fastball, and an excellent competition. Players in the background just moving around, and a reminder of the Allan Border Medal that comes to you from the Crown Palladium in Melbourne on Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Just check your local guides for it. It's the outstanding award of the Australian cricket season. Last year, Glenn McGrath was the winner of the Allan Border Medal. This year, the voting will be just as intense and exciting as it goes down to the wire. A great performance from the Australians here. Shane Warne in the foreground with Adam Gilchrist and the skipper Steve Waugh for the moment from the MCG at the end of the best of three finals with Australia victorious. It's good evening.